Cheryl Little was a co-founder of FIAC, and she's been advocating for immigrants for 25 years. FIAC does pro bono legal services. In other words, we're a nonprofit law firm, basically. And 3 of the Trail of Dreams students and some other folks here are our clients. Cheryl?
Thank you. Thanks to so many of you for being here today. We know this is a busy press day, but we thought it was so important to be here as we recognize the accomplishments of these incredibly courageous kids who on January 1st embarked on a 1,500-mile journey by foot that would take them from Miami to our nation's capital. Gabby, Carlos, Juan, and Felipe have done this in order to call attention for the urgent need for Congress to pass the DREAM Act and enact sensible immigration reform. Not surprisingly, they've not only done this for themselves, but for the tens of thousands of other DREAM Act eligible kids. And some of them are here today, like Jose, who walked from New York, like Jesus and Guillermo Reyes, who were detained just last year in a South Florida jail. The Trail of Dreams has certainly been a difficult and dangerous journey. Dangerous not only because our dreamers could have been detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement and deported at any moment, but dangerous because they encountered anti-immigrant protesters along the way, including Ku Klux Klan members who lashed out at them. But they were not deterred because they felt they had no choice, and they continued to put one foot in front of the other until they reached their goal. As Felipe put it, and I'm quoting, "We are risking our future because our present is unbearable." For years, our Trail of Dreamers have lived in 2 worlds. Brought to the United States by their families years ago, the United States is the only country they call home. Every close friend they've made, every drop of sweat they've spilled, every pledge of allegiance they've recited has been here in the United States. Yet for years, they've watched helplessly as fellow classmates were rounded up and deported, and they themselves forced to live in constant fear of deportation. They can't drive or work legally, and despite excelling in school, they aren't eligible for most scholarships or loans. In most states, including Florida, they must pay out-of-state tuition in order to attend college. Gabby, Carlos, Juan, and Felipe, and countless others could be future PhDs, rocket scientists, computer engineers, teachers, judges, even US senators one day. In our report, or they may want to join the military, and in our report, we note experts who have said how important the DREAM Act would be to the military, that it would greatly benefit the military. In fact, a top-ranking Pentagon official supported the DREAM Act in 2007, and the DREAM Act is included in the United States military's strategic plan for fiscal year 2010 to 2012. These 4 remarkable people beg the question, why does this country want to deport young people with proven potential to enrich it through their careers and community service? Their stifled potential is our loss. And for goodness sake, we've already invested in their education, so let's reap the benefits. The DREAM Act was introduced in March of last year and has bipartisan support. As of April 19th, it had 35 co-sponsors in the Senate and 113 in the House. Last Thursday, Senator Durbin and Republican Senator Lugar asked DHS Secretary Janet Napolitano to defer deportation of DREAM Act eligible kids. We're extremely grateful to the senators for doing that and hopeful that Secretary Napolitano will do this quickly. This would at least give students like those here today some measure of relief while they wait for a more permanent solution. Most importantly, Congress should quickly pass the DREAM Act as part of a sensible immigration reform bill. The recent law passed by the Arizona legislature is a painful reminder that in the absence of comprehensive reform, cities and states nationwide are attempting to take federal responsibilities into their own hands, poisoning the climate even for legal residents and citizens. Anti-immigrant policies are hurting real people and families undermining U.S. ideals of justice, and making us less safe from terrorism. Passage of the DREAM Act as part of comprehensive immigration reform is long overdue. If not now, when? And I just want to reiterate what SUSANA said about all the other groups that have helped us. I mean, they have been helping these kids for so long, and they wouldn't have made it to the finish line without you. And I can tell you, as lawyers, we know how important it is to have the advocates, the grassroots advocates out there, and these students out there making their own case, because frankly, they've got a great case to make, and without them, honestly, I don't think we'd accomplish that much. Thanks very much.
My name is Jesus Reyes. I am a college student who was born in Venezuela, but about half of my family have lived in the best country in the world, the United States of America. Last year, my brother and I were detained because of our parents' asylum claim was denied. Early one morning, last September, immigration agents came to our house. They handcuffed my brother and I. They chained us from our wrists, our feet, just like if we were criminals. We were very confused and we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what was going to happen next. But thanks, first and foremost, to God, FIAC, members of Congress, my colleagues, family members, we were able to be released from detention, and ICE gave us permission to stay in the United States. Though we're proud of our own heritage, we're also extremely proud of our American home.
This is a story of a young girl that at 5th grade, she fell in love with the University of Miami. She fell in love with the promise of education. She went ahead and started taking honors classes, AP classes, because she wanted to get there. She wanted to reach the University of Miami. As she was graduating and passing through that first hurdle, her high school graduation, she knew that maybe that was the last time she was going to be in an institution of higher learning. But she didn't give up. And she found a way to go to Miami-Dade College, an institution that is a beacon of hope for undocumented students. Opportunity changes everything. And so she started taking classes there, became student government president. Then that wasn't enough for her because she dreamed, and she dreamed big. She became president of the whole Student Government Association state of Florida. She graduated with her first degree, and she did it again with another associate's, and she did it again with a bachelor's. This girl has a dream. This is a very simple girl from Miami that came to the United States from Ecuador when she was 7 years old. And her dream is to open a music therapy center to work with autistic kids and to pour her soul and her heart to this population that doesn't have a voice. This is me. This is this little girl. This is the girl that's growing up and becoming a woman that has aspirations and dreams and a desire to serve this country. Thank you.